All right, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's just me and you. Bravo. Watch Mike. Go. Hey, Mike 52. Come on, D. Hey.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, that was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Second and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Avery Williamson in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over.
Ready to break. Double dog, that's the way. Snap.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
60 outlaw.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 47-yard line.
To throw on second down, Lawrence. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
70, Indy. Hey, Alpha. Check that little Mike 52 right here. 52. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Little Mike 52. Mike 52. Gone.
Throwing on third and long. Lawrence under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 54-yard punt return there. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
defense. Keep it up, guys.
Second and 15. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
Looked like he tried it all there. Tried to use some physicality, right? Tried to use some footwork, some head fakes. But he was covered the entire way. Dogged in every step. That forced the incompletion. No separation at the end of the route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're going to look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Returnable here from the 38. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. First and 10. Off the play fake. Lawrence. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby. Go ahead, take a seat. You can't.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing on third and long. Lawrence. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A toss to Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but that is nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay,
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Will Fuller, touchdown number 15 of the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
he certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
Let's go. Do it.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
Let's go now. Get the flag. Let's go.
On first down, it's Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 45-yard line.
Let's go. 14 on it. Coverage. 2-6. 42.
2nd and 11. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and 2, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. That goes for 15 yards on the fake, a first down. And a lot of fist pumps right now on that sideline. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
Back to throw. Lawrence looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Twist on travel. Back. Now.
On 2nd down, Elliott. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies run.
2nd and 10. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory.
Let's go.
A big play there for Minnesota. 45 yards.
First down, Minnesota.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run on first down. Cook. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Bucs 20-yard line.
42, nice 42. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
It's complete to Fuller. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Shit. He's checking. Crash. Check. Let's go.
The final shot before break. Lawrence. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Get in the weight room.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Carlton Davis picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Watch the eye.
2nd and 9 now. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll look to throw. There he goes inside the 30. It's complete to Diggs. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. 2nd down and inches. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
65.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Will Fuller, 95 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly. And now here is another interception. Carlton Davis picks it. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Go.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Get it.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. This is caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Avery Williamson in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. The Vikings on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dayon Buchanan charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. The Bucs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover back. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop.
10-2 stop. Topper.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
They'll set up to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated.
It's caught at the 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Off play action. Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Watch twist.
Off the play fake. Lawrence. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Off play action. Lawrence. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 32 on the play.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. 80 weapons. Time, shoot.
That one looks like he'll throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hey, Delta, 30 base. 5.
To throw on 3rd down, Lawrence. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They run it again with Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming.
60 Pittsburgh. Hey, Echo. Get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now. Is it rush coming, and he's taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory.